everyone, thank you for joining me here today. So we're going to work on a short hip opening sequence to create some more space and loosen up in this region. So we'll begin by lying down on our backs, keeping the knees up for now. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, and then we're going to allow the knees to drop down to the side. And if you feel like you need to ground today, then bring your palms to your lower abdomen, to your lower belly. And if you'd like to support your hips and opening a little bit more, then bring your palms to the inside of your thighs. And remember that this is a relaxation pose, so we don't want any strain across the muscles. Just want to release and allow gravity to do most of the stretch here. And begin to tune in with your breath and see what feedback it's giving you about your mind. And remember that the breath and the mind are always connected. And bringing our attention to the breath, we can better understand what's happening mentally. And when we better understand something, we can work with it. And as you continue to breathe, just acknowledge where you are today. And then as you inhale, bring the knees up and hug them into the chest. Next, we're going to grab either knee with either palm, and we're going to circulate at the hips, allowing the knees to drop out to the side, and then letting them come forward and back into center. And gently opening up at the hips here. And then reverse in the direction. And exhaling back to center. And then when you're ready, rolling on to either side and finding your way up to all fours. Placing the wrists underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. And take a moment to move the body. Allowing your breath and body to guide your movement here. So maybe you feel like you need to work on the shoulders, on the upper back. Maybe swaying the hips from side to side, or creating a stretch across one side of the hip all the way to the neck. Just loosening up the body here. Okay. And then from here we're going to inhale to raise the left knee up, and we're going to circulate that knee around 2 times, and then reversing that and circulating it 2 times the other way. And exhale to release. And inhale, circulating the right knee this time. And reversing, circulating the other way. And exhale, releasing to the ground. Give yourself a moment to wiggle out here any tension. And then from here, we're going to flex the left foot and inhale, raising it. Imagining a line between your left heel and the head. And taking one breath here. And then point the foot and begin to circulate here. So the leg is long and we're creating all the movement from the hips. And then circulating the other way. And exhale to release. Again, taking a moment to move into the hips if you need to. Then inhale, bring the right foot up, flexing, staying here. Imagine that line between the heel and the head. Long throughout the spine. And then pointing the foot. And taking a moment to circle around here. Keeping the leg engaged, strong and long. And then circle the other way. And exhale to release. Just take a moment to fold back into child's pose to release the hips. And inhaling back into all fours. We're going to tuck the toes under and we're going to exhale, drawing the tailbone up, keeping the knees bent. Bring the tailbone up until it can't go any higher, then pedaling out the feet. And straightening up through the legs, releasing the hamstrings. And as you push away with the mat, remember to put the weight in the base of your fingers and the fingertips so you can relieve your wrists. And then finding stillness here. We're going to inhale, raising the left leg to the sky. Pointing the foot, we're going to exhale, bringing it down with control. Inhale, engaging the core as you raise the leg. Exhale one more time with control and creating the movement from the hip socket. Inhale up. And then folding at the knee as you exhale and opening up at the hips. Trying to keep the shoulders square here. Breathe into that opening. You have the option to stay here, or if you'd like to bring the stretch into the abdominal region, straighten that lifted leg. Strong across the core, across the leg. And breathe in. And exhale to lower. Bring the knees to the ground. We're going to come into child's pose. So release the shoulders for a little bit. Bringing the arms alongside the body. If it feels good to you and your head is touching the mat, maybe rolling the forehead from side to side. And then inhaling back up onto all fours. Exhaling into your down dog, pressing away with the palms of the fingertips. And take a moment here to draw the upper outer arm in, so you create space across your shoulder blades. Imagine you're hiding your armpit from your neighbors, if you have any. Otherwise, you can imagine if you have imaginary neighbors, if that makes sense. Anyway, continuing, we're going to inhale the right leg up. Point the foot, exhale, bring it down, control. Inhale back up. Exhale down, control. Inhale back up one more time. Exhale, bending at the knee and opening up the hip. Option to stay here or straighten that lifted leg Couple more breaths. And as you exhale, bring that leg down. And then slowly walking the palms towards the feet. With a wide-legged stance here, shake the upper body. Release the neck, release the shoulders. And then we're going to grasp the opposite elbows. Keeping a gentle bend in the knees, we're going to sway from side to side. And if you find that you're losing your balance, then just widen your stance a little bit. And then releasing. So this time, we're going to bend at the left knee. And we're going to reach up with the right hand, grounding the left palm. So we're working on opening the chest as well as releasing the outer right hip. Exhale to release. Grounding the right palm, bending the right knee. Inhale, reaching up the left. Working on outer hip and opening up the chest. The gaze can be forward or upward depending on how your neck feels. And then exhale to release. Pedaling out at the knees for a moment. And then keeping a gentle bend, we're going to inhale, engage the core and slowly unravel the spine. When you reach the top, roll back the shoulders. Reach down with the fingertips. Engage your whole body as you grow tall here in Tadasana. And then when you're ready, come to face me. So we're going to reach out with the right foot or the left foot, depending on what side of the mat you're on. So basically we want to have a wide-legged stance. And once you're here, begin to tuck the tailbone under slightly so you're standing over your pelvis. And once you've found that, roll back the shoulders, stand up tall. And then from here, we're going to begin to turn the toes slightly out towards the corners of the mat. Then we're going to bring the arms into cactus pose. So they're forming a 90-degree angle at the elbow. Then we're going to bend the knees, coming into goddess pose. So again, keeping that slight tuck in the tailbone so you can stay tall. And then breathing here. If it feels alright for you, then sink in a little bit deeper. Nice. And then we're going to begin to turn the right foot forward. And we're going to lean towards the right leg, coming into a side angled squat, using the hands to support you. Really allow yourself to lean in to that left hip. So we want to keep the foot flexed here to protect your joints, so the muscles are also active. Coming through center, we're going to go to the other side. So this time flexing the right foot and working with the right hip. Taking a breath here. And then we're going to inhale, we're going to pivot on both feet and turn towards the left side. Bring the left foot back and coming into plank. So you have the option to bring your knees to the ground here, or stay here for one breath and then slowly lower to the ground, keeping the elbows by the side of the body as you exhale. Inhale, coming up into gentle cobra. And then exhale, finding your way into down dog. And taking a couple of breaths here. left foot to the sky. And as you exhale, draw that foot to the nose. Draw your knee to the nose, sorry. And come up on the right tiptoes. And then we're going to bring the left foot in between the palms. Taking a breath here as you gaze forward and lengthen. And then inhale, sweeping the arms up. Option to stay here with the gaze forward, or bring your gaze up, coming into a slight back bend. And then exhale, opening up into Warrior Two. Bring the arms beside the body. Taking a moment to gaze at your hands, see if your arms are in line. And then setting your gaze just beyond your left fingertips. And then we're going to reverse the front palm. We're going to inhale, leaning forwards and then reaching upwards, coming into Peaceful Warrior. Exhale here, and then inhale, coming forward, bringing the left forearm to left thigh and sweeping the right arm over the ear. You have the option to stay here. If it feels right for you today, then bring your left fingertips to the mat and reach up tall with your right fingertips. And keeping the chest open here, engaged across both legs. And then inhale, come up. Strong in your warrior pose. And we're going to begin to straighten that front leg. And then from here, we're going to begin to lean forward as we inhale. And exhale, we're going to ground the left palm on the left shin. And we're going to reach up with the right. So we want to keep our body in a single line. So our torso is over the leg. And the hips aren't going forward or back. They're in line with the body. Option to stay here. Or if you feel quite loose today, maybe you can work towards bringing your left fingertips to the mat, but keeping that alignment across the body. And make sure you're not pressing into the knee joint too much. See if you can still bend that knee. Nice. And then we're going to bend the left knee. And we're going to start to walk that back foot forward. And then we're going to raise it slowly, coming into half moon pose. So you have the option to gaze down or bring your gaze forward. Finding a fixed point to gaze at, flex the foot. An option to stay here. If you want a little bit more, then gaze down and maybe start to balance. Bring your fingertips off the ground. And then exhale with control. Bring that foot in and placing it beside the left foot. Rolling out the shoulders here. We're going to inhale, sweeping the arms to the side, up and over. And then we're going to exhale and fold forwards. From here, inhale, coming into flat back. Lengthening the spine. And exhale, finding your way to plank. Again, option to lower the knees or come all the way down. Inhale, coming into gentle cobra. And exhaling into down dog. And taking a few breaths here, pedaling out the feet if you need to. And then from here, we're going to inhale the right leg to the sky. And as we exhale, we're going to draw the knee to the nose, coming up to the left toes. And then bringing the right foot between the palms. Just going to switch sides so you can see me. Inhale, lengthening spine. and exhaling here. And then we're going to inhale, sweeping the arms up tall. You have an option to stay here, or maybe bring your gaze up to the thumbs and come into a slight back bend. And then exhaling into Warrior Two. Taking a moment to check the alignment of your arms. And gaze towards the right fingertips. Be broad across the collarbones here. And then reversing that front palm. Inhale to lean forwards and bring it up. Coming into Peaceful Warrior. And then exhale, bringing your right forearm to right thigh. Inhale, sweeping the left arm over the ear. And breathing in. You have the option to stay here, or bring the right fingertips to the ground, reaching up with the left. Gaze can be forward or upwards, depending on how your neck feels. And then inhale, coming up into your Warrior Two. And on your next exhale, straightening up that front leg. Inhale, leaning forwards. Exhale, grounding the right palm on right shin, reaching up with the left hand. Again, option to gaze forwards or upwards. If you feel that you'd like a little bit more here, then reaching those right fingertips to the mat, but keeping the body aligned. Keeping the chest open. And then bringing your gaze down, we're going to bend the right knee and start to bring the left foot further forwards and then up. And opening up the left arm, coming into half moon. Again, gaze can be downwards or looking to the side. Flexing that foot. If it feels right for you today, then maybe bring your gaze down and bring the right fingertips off the ground. And then exhale with control, bringing the right foot by the left and releasing. Give the legs and the body a little shake. And then inhale, sweeping the palms to the side, up and over the head. And exhaling through heart center. Inhale to come into your flat back. And exhale into plank. Choosing to lower down with the knees or not, but keeping the elbows by the side of the body. And inhaling into gentle cobra. And then exhaling into child's pose, allowing the arms to come by the side of the body again. And releasing the upper body. Perfect. And then coming up, we're going to come to the middle of our mats in a seated position. And we're going to bring the left leg, the left shin, parallel with the edge of the mat you're facing. Flexing the foot here. We're going to do the same with the right leg. And we're going to stack it over the left. So this is double pigeon pose. And then from here we're going to grasp the right knee. And we're going to offer some resistance here as we press down with that knee. And once you've really activated your right hip, release the knee, then bring your thumbs to the hip crease and draw the flesh back. inhale to lengthen the spine here. And as you exhale, begin to lean forwards. Just very gently, finding that edge where you can feel the stretch, but you're not going too far as to tense up your body too much. And then here we're going to work with our breath. So as you inhale, lengthen the spine upwards and forwards. And as you exhale, fold a little bit more. Very subtle and gentle movements here, working into the pose. So inhale, lengthening. Exhale, going a little bit deeper. Couple more breaths here, working with your own body and pace. And remember to keep the foot flexed to protect your knee joints. And inhale to come back up. Take a moment to ground the feet and windshield wipe the legs, just releasing at the hips. And then reversing. So bringing the left shin parallel with the front of the mat, stacking the left shin over that. So left shin over right. There we go. And then we're going to grasp the left knee and push against the hands, waking up that hip. And then bringing your thumbs to the hip crease, drawing the flesh back. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And then exhale, begin to come forward, just gently. And then working with the breath. So inhale, lengthening. Exhale, folding just a tiny bit more. And then inhale back up. Again, grounding the feet and windshield wiping with the legs. And then we're going to come into Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose, a bit like we did at the beginning, but this time sitting up. And we want to allow a generous space between the heels and our pelvis. So we want a diamond shape here. And we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine one more time. And as you exhale, we're going to begin to fold forwards. Remember, we want to lean forwards and then downwards to avoid this curving throughout the spine. So we want to keep a long spine. And again, allowing your breath to guide you into the stretch. Just releasing here. And inhaling back up. Exhale, bring the feet quite wide and then allowing the knees to drop inwards. We've been working a lot on opening the hips that way, so we want to allow them to also work on them in the opposite direction, basically. Nice job. Okay, and now finding a comfortable seated position so we can end this practice. Rolling the shoulders back and reconnecting with your breath one more time. If you like to, you can keep your palms on your knees. You can have them facing down or up, or if it suits you, you can bring them to heart center. using the contact and a slight pressure to open up throughout your shoulders. And checking in with your breath one more time. And see if you can notice any differences from the beginning of the practice. And acknowledging where you are. And maybe cultivating a sense of being grateful. Grateful for the things we have, the people we have in our lives. And that's us for today. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to practicing with you again. Bye.